Squ-Chan faces backlash over Leaflet AI VTuber clip. Oh boy. Mind you, chat, Squ-Chan is an artist. A good artist. Let's get it.
Okay, so it seems like recently there's been a lot of different responses to the whole Leaflet AI PNG tuber model thing, whatever you want to call it, right? Essentially, we covered this in the last video and the video before that. Essentially, yeah, Leaflet has been working on a tool that creates a PNG tuber that also has some animations and stuff for essentially VTubers that are getting started and can't afford you know, a big flashy model and whatever. And of course, you know, this is the VTuber community. It's had mixed reactions. Some people obviously love it and think it's an easier way to get into VTubing. Some people hate it and don't want it to be a part of it at all, right? And I think it is fair either side, right? But again, you know, obviously a lot of people have been talking about it though due to this, and we've covered a lot of bigger VTubers talking about it, including Chacha Yovimam. She made a video talking about that and how it could affect things in terms of the algorithm. But also as well, Squ-Chan has also been talking about it.
Let's go.
Which has been pretty interesting, and there's been a lot of quotes and stuff like that which have been pretty angry at her as well. So yeah, let's just take a look. Obviously, this says, finally an artist with a rational take on AAR in VTubing, and this is what she says. And obviously, she is an artist herself, so it's pretty interesting, right?
Literally have a
also, like, I would actually listen to like a rational take when it comes to like artists. Squ-Chan here is a good artist. Like, I seen her work, and all I can say that like her pricing when it comes to her artwork is fair, because the quality of the quality of her illustrations or artwork is top notch.
Like, I'll be honest, I personally wouldn't use this, but do you think it's fair that when you're trying to start out as a streamer, you have to pay over $10,000 just to have a chance at having a model? Or sure, you can buy it for...
Alright, from the get-go, like, I was gonna make it like a little bit of a thing, is that, yo, like, I think like 10K is a little bit too much. All I'm saying is that, yeah, it's expensive, but not at the point where like 10K is too much. It's probably around like in the range of 1,000 to 5,000 or 3,000. No, like, all right, 1,000 to 5,000 range when it comes to like a VTuber kit, like models, assets, everything. But when it comes to like if you're a successful VTuber or a big VTuber, I guess like it could reach the amount of 10K, because you got like different kinds of models, different outfits, and they top tier rigging, especially for V-Bridger rigging.
Like, you can buy a pre-made one, but that's a pre-made one. Everyone and their mother using it. You wanna have a chance to be unique. You don't want to be fucking, I don't know, Suika Avatar 9,999, right? You want to...
Bro, like, alright, another thing. I'll stop pausing, because, you know, she's giving a take. I swear, man, every time, like, I see a lot of VTubers, they will use the Suika pre-made models. Like, if you don't know, you know, like the pre-made models that has like with the blur pupils, the blur irises, the blur eyes, and everyone's using it. I don't know, I don't know about right now, but like probably like a couple of months back, or probably more, everyone is using the Suika model. And like, I still remembered like the drama between like Squ-Chan, because she made a pre-made model for free, mind you, for free. Like, she gave away a free Squ-Chan model that is high quality, but we got like other people with bad intentions, and they take advantage of a free model and sell that free model for their own profit. So this is why we can't have nice things, you know, like Suika, all I can say, like, Suika is a great V artist, great rigger, and this is why we can have nice things when it comes to free shit or free stuff, because we got other people with ulterior motives that could make bank with other people's work.
To be
Not cool.
your own person. But the thing is that just the art, mind you, from a mid artist, not like a good one, is going to be at least 1,000, if not 2,000.
True.
And then you have to get that rigged. A good rigger who is not going to give you like a hololive rhombus is going to be at least 2,000 as well.
Whoa.
At least. Listen, Filian is an amazing streamer, but look at her. Even she got trouble. She wanted to get her Nandroid and she couldn't.
True.
Because the artist who made that pre-made avatar didn't agree. So it's not good for her either. Why do you think she probably has to do this whole like rebranding or whatever? If she's coming back, it's going to be probably with a brand new avatar that can be finally her own.
PNG still.
But yeah, I think that.
All right. Like another example. Yeah, I agree with the example that Squ-Chan says. Like, yeah, Filian. I remember like Filian, when she wants to release like her own merch to her community, the snackers. She's having trouble because the owner of the design, the model of Filian, like, they didn't agree when Filian tries to make her own merchandise based on the design of her model, because of course her model is pretty much like VR chat, and like absolutely not hers to begin with. So like it's pretty much connected to having like pre-made models, because pre-made models, yeah, you can purchase a pre-made model, but the rights is not absolutely yours. You're pretty much renting at this point, where like you don't own a pre-made model. If you become like a big VTuber, but at the same time your community is pretty much stuck at your design, and they don't want to like another design, because you know, like, they're pretty much comfortable with your aesthetics, your color palette and everything. But the problem is that you're pretty much stuck at the pre-made model, and if you attempt to make any like merch or like a standee or any other artworks that could, like an official artworks that you could sell to your community, let me tell you this, like the owner of that design would, you know, like, they will make you like pay up for like commercial rights, or they will just don't allow you, because that's not your own design in the first place. But when it comes to like making your own design, like making your own model based on your custom design that could represent you, that will cost you money. But then again, though, I would like disagree with Squ-Chan for having to reach like 10K. If you have like a private rigger or private V artist, I guess it will reach with a certain price, of course. But we're talking about an everyday small to mid-tier VTubers, where they'll have like their own first model or their only model that they could use. And most of the times where like V artists, all right, I'll give an example, like V artists on VGen, right? Most of the times their prices are on average between like 1K to 3K. Even if like the art is either mid-tier or high quality, or if the rigging is just normal rigging, or if it includes some V-bridger rigging, because you need that advanced face tracking, it will just cost you around like 1 to 3K, in that range. So yeah, like it will cost you a lot. And if you if, even like you even if like you own like multiple models, it will cost you way more. And of course, like the argument of just buy like buy a pre-made, it's good in a short run, but when it comes to long run, you will have problems with in terms of legal rights and like commercial rights as well, because how would you make money besides like from subs, from viewership on YouTube. Of course, you have to like you have to sell merch at some point. So getting like commercial rights is not it. Oh shit. Like to getting commercial rights, all right, my bad. Like getting commercial rights from the owner of the design.
There are some good points there, right? It's essentially the fact of, hey, there's a lot of pre-made VTuber models out there that people tend to use when they get started with VTubing because it's cheaper and it's sometimes even free. Some people release theirs for free, and usually they have little toggles and sliders where you can change it slightly, but at the end of the day, it tends to be, yeah, as she says, like VTuber number 352 that looks exactly the same, right?
Yeah. When it comes to custom made VTuber models, yeah, you can mix and match a couple of assets for the model so that it could like be its own unique. But the problem is that other people who bought the same model, like you're just gonna be like a carbon copy. It is what it is, like a carbon copy, and a carbon copy that isn't yours to begin with. Like the design isn't yours to begin with, so you're pretty much screwed. Not in long term, because like you have like an opportunity to buy or commission a custom model, but in the short term, you're pretty much like you're pretty much like a clone at this point, with different hairstyles, different body size. Yeah, you're a clone.
Right. And it's not very unique, and I don't think it is the best chance you have at starting out as being a VTuber, right? Of course, it is a fix for the time being for whenever you want to get your own one, but as she mentions with people like Philian, it can be quite hard, as if you do get attention with that model, right? And somehow, people actually pick up on it through your personality or your content or whatever, regardless of the model, and you want to do cool stuff in the future. For example, she mentions the Nendroid with Philian.
Oh my gosh. Another example. Neurosama. She started out as a free, like the free model in VTube Studio. The oh my god, I forgot the name. Like the schoolgirl, the schoolgirl from VTube Studio. She started from that model, and like Vettel has had problems when it comes to releasing merch on Neurosama's design, because the owner of that model, they didn't agree to any like commercial rights. It's pretty much like only for free use for VTube Studio, and not for like any personal gain of selling merchandise based on their design. It's supposed to be used for free in VTube Studio, not for like if someone picked up that free model from VTube Studios and make a bunch of money from that design. So he decided to commission a pretty much like a near identical custom model for Nero. It's pretty much like her 2.0 model, or how she looks like today, because the designs or like different parts of the design is still like closely resembles to the original free model from VTube Studio. So yeah, like if you don't have like a custom model, you will get like a lot of, you know, like a lot of roadblocks when it comes to merchandising or like selling merch based on the design.
Well, of course, you're not going to be able to do that because the artist obviously owns your kind of likeness and all of this kind of stuff, which again can be a problem for some people that, you know, maybe want to get into VTubing because they want to own their stuff and they want to become recognizable through their own model. Because, you know, there's kind of like, to me, it feels like there's no point in personally, I think there's no point in kind of like using a pre-made one that like everybody else has. I think, you know, if you want to make like a cheap one on like Vroid or something like that, that's like unique and you kind of you know, fiddled around with some of the kind of design choices, that's cool, right? Obviously that's the free way to do it. But, you know, the pre-made ones that I'm talking about, that like a lot of people tend to have the same looking model. I think sometimes, to me, it feels like a bit of a waste of time because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to do anything with that model, right? You're not going to be able to create merch with it. You're not going to be able to you know, do figures or anything with it if you got to that level of hugeness, right? So
like at this point, like getting a pre-made model is like putting yourself in a cage. Like you're limiting yourself of any freedom to like make merchandise because you bought a pre-made model. You bought a pre-made model that you have no rights in. And also, like I'll pull up like another topic with like in connection to this. Why every time where you commission a model like with your own design and everything, or probably like the vision of the artist, after everything is settled, the model's finished, you paid the entire price tag for the VTuber model, you should expect to have the entire rights of it. Yeah, especially like you paid for the commercial rights, paid everything. Yeah, imagine that, like you paid everything, right? I expect, or everyone's expect to have like full rights to the entire thing, so that every time like they will go to like any drama or they have like different opinions, every time they go their own way and, you know, like talk about stuff that sometimes it doesn't do well with other communities or other people with different opinions. Like the audacity of the artists, like the audacity of the artists that they want to revoke the use of their models, even if the customer paid everything. So they should have the entire rights for the model, even if they have like different opinions, or even if they become like problematic VTubers. You should, like, artists should not, you know, like get in the way or get like revoke anything or make a freaking public statement. They bought it with money, so either way, so whatever they gonna do, that's their own thing, and you shouldn't be interfering with when it comes like, oh, I feel like I'm just gonna, you know, like tweet this person because they say wrong shit and they saying like batshit insane. I want to like I want to like revoke their rights of using the model that I created. Bitch, they paid like thousands of dollars and you just gonna take away, yo, like that is just daylight theft right there. Like that is just blatant theft. Just because like you don't like what they're saying doesn't mean that you just, you know, like yoink the entire thing. Yeah, like that, like that's the thing that I really annoyed with. Even if you bought or like fully paid your custom models, it's not yours still, because they're selling you a license. What the fuck, man? Like we are living in in today's world where everything that we buy is not, we're not owning it. Like we if we buy games, we cannot own games. If we buy a VTuber model, we cannot own the entire VTuber model. Yep. If buying isn't stealing, or if buying isn't owning, man, I fucked up that line, but yeah, you get my point.
So but like again, I can also see at the same time there also being the factor of you could maybe build up the money with that model and then get that separate model. But then obviously if you get up to the point where you're making enough money with that, you know, original model, you've already built up kind of an audience that, you know, kind of knows that face, that kind of VTuber model and that style. So it'd be kind of hard to break away from that. You know, if you were to suddenly switch the style of your VTuber, and it tends to have a big effect. I've seen many VTubers do it, by the way. They use like cheaper models or whatever, and then they decide to completely change their model, like 100%, like doesn't even look like the same thing, and they tend to lose a lot of viewership because people don't recognize them anymore, right? Even if their voice sounds the same. People say you could easily get a good model for 2.5k. There's tons of artists overseas that doesn't charge much for models. There's a whole group of people that will tell you this is wrong as well. But at this point, I think I think Versus AI, they won't comment anymore. Saying though she's speaking mainly from the perspective of an already established streamer willing to up their game and truly invest, rather than the layman streamer, her numbers suggest at least 1,000 or 2,000 is a bit off for VTubers to get started. That's so much money. It legitimately must be a named top rigger. You really don't have to invest that much money to succeed, and thank God we have a marketplace, because you can legitimately find riggers on VGen that optimize their setup so much that they can rig your baby in 24 hours, and they'll only bill you like $150 in the end. You still need the model art though, ready for rigging. It's really a...
Alright, another thing is that like a lot of like, alright, here's my like personal opinion when it comes to VGen, man. When it comes to VGen, man, a lot of it is just mid-tier art. I said it. It's just mid, man. And all I can say, like, the pricing when it comes to quality isn't matching. And also with the usual tendencies to get ghosted on the commission, and like getting under, like, low quality for like a high price. It's still rampant on VGen. I said it. That's why, like, most of the times if I were to commission something, I would rather have it like ask a verified VTuber, like, you know, like, hook me up with your artist, or hook me up with your rigger, or hook me up with your V artist. You know what? Because I prefer word of mouth instead of like it's like going to a store and see like different kinds of models or different kinds of artists just like sitting in front of the aisle, and, you know, like, you just browsing around like, which price would fit in my budget right now. Oh shit, like, we got an artist right here with, you know, a mid artist that, like, the price is kind of high, but oh man, I have to walk down the aisle just to find a good artist. Holy fuck, man. Like, I prefer word of mouth, or just based on connections, because it just guarantees that they are a good V artist, because of you know, like, the connection, and also their reputation, that like they work under like numerous VTubers, or even like bigger VTubers, like they work with them. So I prefer like connections rather than, you know, like, browse through VGen.
About how much you value your time and quality with convenience. Desperate folks, much like the homeless, scrape off and try make of whatever they can. They have to invest. I do agree that the commercial rights thing, that's practically a must, and those usually cost you at least 2 times the price of the model itself.
Yikes.
So yeah, I mean, it is like a kind of little debate, little kind of, I guess, what do you call it, discussion that people have had going on. You know, obviously Dark there saying like, essentially VTubing is starting to get a little bit cheaper maybe with the whole kind of VGen stuff that has been going around. So that is also something that maybe you can talk about. I think it's a shame that bad artists have...
At the same time, the with the recent drama right now, we need to add more competition. We need to add more competition so that we have more accessibility, and also the way that, you know, even like the most hard-headed artists would have to adjust. I want every artist who works under like the VTuber scene to adjust, because we're right now we're at a time where the competition is getting hotter and getting higher, and more people are interested in joining or dipping their toes in the VTuber scene. I want everyone to have the opportunity to become VTubers as much as possible, whether the method is acceptable and not acceptable. But at the end of the day, as long as they're using a VTuber persona or a PNG, a model, whatever, I welcome it. Everyone should be VTubers, even if it's just for a hobby, as long as, you know, like it could represent yourself.
So many to rethink their needs because of a few of them have blown tantrums and tried to make public blacklists for people who used AI, either knowingly or unknowingly. No shit, many people can't afford those enormous costs. You pay for quality, but when those prices exist, people are going to find alternatives that are cheaper. So using AI art will harm your chances of gaining traction rather than helping them, and will leave a stain that can't be hidden. Plus,
another thing is when it comes to that, using AI art will harm your chance of gaining traction. Yo, there's already like a part of the scene that is okay, or probably more lenient towards AI art. There's already a part of the VTuber scene that, you know what, if this user or if this streamer, content creator is funny enough or making good content, even if their assets is AI, yo, I'ma watch him, you know? Like, fucking hell, man. Gaining traction is just like, how would you make content? It's not like how you look like how your assets look like. At this point, it's all comes down to content. It's all comes down to personality. It's a plus side that you use, like a great model, great designs, everything out from the get-go. But it all comes down to personality and if you actually make content.
Plus will most likely put off artists from wanting to take commissions of a VTuber who previously used AI art. And that is something that maybe I haven't really discussed in terms of this topic as well, right? In terms of like the Leaflet thing, in terms of the PNG tuber, and if you were to use this program, right? Don't get me wrong, I think it's a cool thing, right? I think it's definitely interesting. But I think with the kind of state that the VTubing space is in, you will, if you do decide to use this tool or whatever that Leaflet has gotten, the reality is that you are going to be blacklisted. You are going to be, people aren't going to want to hang out with you as much. People aren't going to want to do art for you as much. And again, it is one of those things that maybe some people don't, kind of consider whenever it comes to this. Now,
all right, another thing, there's always got to be an artist that would do commissions, even if like you're blacklisted, because all I'm gonna say is that there are artists that are base enough to understand, to sympathize, and they don't really care if you're like, oh, you're pro AI, you're anti AI, or everything that you believe in. They just don't care, because at the end of the day, as long as they're getting paid, that's it. Like the anti-AI tribe, the quote unquote artists, are just shooting themselves in the foot and like making their entire like commission slots always open, empty, full of crickets and a couple of spiders. That's it. Because they are not adjusting. They're just sticking to the old mantra that they always like echoes around their echo chamber. Oh my gosh, like using AI is bad. We have to bully everyone. We bully everyone that uses AI or have AI as we bully them. That's why their commission slots are always open. No customers going in, and yeah, their reputation is just that bad. They're just shooting themselves in the foot. And of course, they just don't like money. I don't get it. They're the quote unquote starving artists. And for some reason they just don't like money. Yo, your rent is due. You have mortgage to pay. You got like school debt, and you don't like money. What a waste of art degree, man. What a waste.
You know, it's always an argument of should this be the case or not. You know, you can make up your own mind on that, right? And it's not like saying that you shouldn't use this, but I think there are the kind of precursors to this, just saying like, hey, if you are going to use a tool like this, using the AI things that people can very clearly see is AI generated, some people aren't going to want to hang out with you, and that's just how it is, right? And
bro, yo, like, right, no hate on Kasana because I like Kasana. You can just hang out with the rest who use like AI art. You can collab with them. It's like it's like that part of the VTuber scene. You can just collab, and you can just make content with them instead of like the elites up top or the elites on the other side of the VTuber scene. Fuck them. Make your own content. Probably make like collab content with other people who they have the same same mindset as you. We got people there. There's always gonna be people for everybody. So yeah, like you're not missing out on anything. You just have to like make socialize, make connections. It is what it is.
Again, you know, you can be upset about that. That's fine or whatever, right? But again, it is just the reality of, you know, the space, and a lot of people are the same with like artists and all of this kind of stuff. They're not going to want to work with you because of that. So again, I do think that is something that maybe some people don't consider with that too. And obviously that's not necessarily a problem with the quality of the program or anything like that. It's just more so to do with, you know, how people work socially and things like that, right? So yeah, obviously a lot of people have been commenting on the Squ-Chan kind of comment thing. Also, another thing, Fillion got in trouble because she stole the model, not because she used it. She ripped it, she stole it, she admitted to it on video. She did not have a license for it. It was a pay-to-use avatar she stole and recorded illegally. She bragged about it. The right-wing VTuber...
Damn, holy shit. You know what? Let's pull back a little bit. Yeah, I'm guessing this user right here hates Fillion. We got an anti-snacker here.
Recorded illegally. She bragged about it. The right-wing VTubing fans.
Oh, here we go.
They're siding against the majority of artists who made this industry. Their open beliefs is that artists deserve less, often less than minimum wage, and their main allies are people making bank off of abrupt pivots to right-wing content. Which again.
All right, with that statement right there, yo, like if every people who disagrees with, you know, like agrees with, you know, like AI, how Leaflet made the software, they always gonna get tagged as right wing, man. Like, yo, classic move. If someone disagree, call them a right wing. Yes. And not only, yeah, I do agree that like the artists are, like artists are pretty much like the foundation of the VTuber scene or the industry. I agree with that. But right now, like every artist or like the artists that are, like virtue signaling right now, like their head is so big, their ego is so big that every time like there's a competition, they're always gonna scream the loudest and shame on everyone. Like they are just on attack mode right now because like that they're scared because they know that their art is shit, their art is mid, and like they have like zero riz or negative aura when it comes to like getting customers or having having like a business relationship with every client that they ever meet. Like for other artists as well, like doesn't give a fuck, and also like they already know that this is coming, like the AI is coming, and they just don't give a fuck. Those are the most base artists ever because you know why? They always have confidence on their art. They're always gonna improve, and even if like there's competition, they already know that their art is good. And if they believe that their art is good, the clients would want to commission them all the time. Because if the artists have confidence and doesn't actually like go to Twitter and starts virtue signaling because, oh no, AI art is stealing our gerbs, or the bots are coming, this is Skynet all over again. Bro, like they watch too many sci-fi movies, man. Yeah, like those type of artists that are scared of AI, those are the artists that are mid-tier, trash art styles. They just doing it just to scam people. I said it.
In allies are people making bank off of abrupt pivots to right-wing content, which again,
I also like another connection to that is that, oh, but yeah, like, but AI stealing people's art. Yo, if you're scared of that, like, like they're, like the bots or AI is stealing your mid-ass art styles or mid-ass art. Why are you scared? Bro, like they are stealing trash. They're cleaning the streets because you put out trash art. That's it.
I don't know what that has to do with right-wing content, but okay. And of course, as well, also just to mention, going back to the whole, people aren't going to want to interact with you or anything. There is also a group of people that will want to interact with you. Just to kind of make that clear, I didn't really make that clear earlier. There is obviously going to be a space of other people that are also using the similar program or don't care or whatever. But again, just to kind of, I would say that's more so of a minority of people within the community rather than.
But still, even if it's a minority right now, as long as you're having fun, especially with other people in that space, it's good. And at the same time, you always got to start as small, right? But over time, when new people just will come in and they will see the software or any other alternatives, they will join in the fun and be a part of that community. Or better yet, they would make multiple communities. It's like building a village, and then over time you have a castle. It will take time, but as long as people are having fun and talk about things that they like or have like same interest, they have like the same like mindsets and whatnot, they will just have fun, and over time they will grow.
And the majority. So just that's just also another thing. People saying A, Fillion got in trouble because she stole the model and design. B, there are so many artists that are good as she put it that are way cheaper than that. Am I stupid, or does that, as she put it, that are way cheaper than that? Okay,
I got a brain aneurysm for that.
Yeah, I hate when people talk about things they know nothing about or insanely biased, so they omit information for their case. saying that's nice. Anyways, here's a list of affordable human VTuber artists to support. So obviously they put a bunch of artists that are maybe cheaper, but you don't have to spend 10k when you start out, or ever, to be honest. That's a choice and it doesn't guarantee success. When I just started out, I had no money to spend on a model, but I wanted so bad, so I learned how to make a model with VRoid for free, and obviously I mentioned that earlier. So today, all my paid models together don't even cost 10k. So yeah, obviously they are saying like, hey, they've got a model, and again, I don't know who this VTuber is. Okay, they got quite a nice model. So again, they haven't spent 10k for their models combined. And again, maybe
like another thing is that I read on Twitter. At this point, they're just flexing how much money they spent on their models. Like, they think that flexing the price tag on their models is just to flex on the haters or flex on the AI bros. So let me get this straight. So if I flex the amount of debt that I have, is it a flex? Bro, like everybody's just flexing their model price, man. Like how they're flexing like how much they spent on VTubing.
You know, I think it's one of those things where I think she was just kind of speaking. I don't think she actually did the research on exactly, you know, what the cheapest model price is in the current day and age in VTubing, right? Obviously she just threw out 10k there. Now, again, I don't think you need 10k to get a VTubing model. I think you can get them for much cheaper now. You know, maybe it was that way a while back, but again, it doesn't cost 10k anymore. But I think that, you know, of course, if you want a very, very good one, then yes, I think it will cost 10k. But to be honest, once you get to that point, you probably have the money to spend on it, right? If you are looking to make those kind of significant upgrades for the 10k, you know, costing VTuber models, then yeah, you're probably going to be making bank at that point because you believe it's time to upgrade. And if you're not, well, you know, that's kind of you know, you got to improve the content first, maybe, before the VTuber model, right? But of course, you know, still, you know, there's a lot of good kind of models will probably, you know, I would say cost you around about above 1,000 to 2,000, right? I got a model for about 1,000, a little bit less than 1,000, and it was okay. You know, it was okay. It was unique. It was unique at the minimum, right? So I think that was fine. It definitely could have been a lot better. I would have, you know, enjoyed it to be a lot better. But of course, you know, that would have costed a lot more, right? So again, you know, that is just to kind of, I guess, talk about the reality of the prices of VTubing, you know, models and whatnot. A lot of people talk about it because
my God, not Reddit.
AI art in VTubing, and adds fuel to the debate, saying, nah, I'd rather.
You know what? Oh, man, like Reddit, man, of all things, you definitely know it's gonna be a shitstorm there.
I've watched a PNG tuber drawn by a person, then an AI generated live 2D or 3D. I'd rather watch a VTuber who has no face cam than stare at an AI generated image. Tons of streamers do it, and if as a VTuber,
on the minority of people, all right, oh my God, minority of people would agree to this, but in reality, even if it's AI or not, they will still watch. They will still watch as long as the design is appealing, and of course it moves. Even if like you would use like Veto Tube or the any OBS plugins that could interact every time you speak on the microphone, it will just jumps up and down. As long as it moves and as long as the design is decent and appealing, they would rather watch that than having like no cam, no model. It's just like a blank screen or just gameplay overall.
VTuber, they think nobody will watch them without a crazy model. Maybe they need to reconsider why they should be a streamer in the first place. And yeah, I think that's interesting. Is this the same? Yeah, it's the same tweet. So funny to see this fallacy of you need 10k model to ever have a chance. It is still working on some desperate fools entering the fray. It's been pushed by scammers who are using pre-made and AI-made models to bill multiple thousands of dollars to aspiring streamers who are panicking because it's been 6 months and they're still below 20 USDCB. The reality of VTubing is that the pandemic lockdown ended a long time ago, and the total viewership hasn't been growing much, if at all, ever since. This is why most smaller corporations shut down. This is why my major corporations have drastically slowed down new waves and reduced their overall pool of streamers by getting rid of underperforming ones. Meanwhile, we have people who saw Gura and the likes making it big 2 years ago at the peak of Western VTubing and imagined that they could easily be the next superstar or at least 300k subs, 1k CCV one. But this is not going to happen. Viewership didn't grow. Most superstars are either still in their corpo or reincarnated as indies and retained most of their active viewership. What's left for newcomers are mere crumbs, a tiny amount of viewers, and a tiny amount of viewers moving from one Oshi to another. Having said that, people can still grow a channel over a minimum of 2 years of mindless grinding. But what's going to push the channel is channel towards new eyes and not advanced L2D models, which again is true. I think that
like every time like I see on like clips or like showcase videos on Twitter that like riggers are advancing, or every time like they would make like advanced movements on props or even like face tracking, because I saw like a famous rigger that you could actually turn your head 90 degrees to left and right. It's a good tech. It will fetch a high price, but then again though, like would you use it like 90% of the time? Yeah, I don't think so. And like even if like you pay much, like pay for like advanced like accessory movements, more toggles, more stuff to add on to the toggles, or even like movements, it doesn't really help you when it comes to growing your content. It's based on personality and also like what you believe in or what you're saying, because overall it builds character. Everyone should have character development versus like stuck in default mode of a VTuber where I'll act it out just to give like an example. Ohio, Mina. Ohio, Mina. Right, everyone, welcome to the stream. I hope everyone is comfy. Everyone is cozy. We're gonna talk lots. We're gonna play Marvel Rivals. Yada yada yada. Yeah, like that's a default VTuber personality. No character development, no everything, bland. It's just that bad, man. Like at the same time, everyone, like the majority of VTubers, not the big ones, because they already made their character development. They already have their character archetypes. But when it comes to like for newer VTubers, refrain from being a default.
The biggest factor within VTubing now is, I would say that honestly there should be like a pie chart or something, or some kind of chart to show you the kind of levels of what people are talking about. But this is how much kind of VTubing or like VTuber models matter, right, compared to this, which is like everything else, right? I feel like the VTuber model does matter somewhat. You need a recognizable one. I think that if you can get a unique one for a cheap price, and one that not everybody's using, like you can't just like, if you were to go live with like the ones that you get on like VTube.
All right, another thing, I keep pausing, but fuck you. But another thing is that a lot of times, like a VTuber model, sometimes like they would go like the usual route of maximalism. Like, if you don't know what maximalism is, pretty much like having too much of a thing in one area. Like for example, with my model right now, like I prefer to have it like minimal and having like simple designs, because I don't want to like add like distracting stuff, well, except for the earring right here, because I like how it dangles, how it moves around. But that's it. I like my things simple, because I care about the viewers that doesn't want like a lot of shit like moving around, and I want things like simple. I don't really care if people would say it's bland or not. I want it to become like simple, just a little simple guy in front of the screen, and you know, like, it represents me, and also it makes it easier for people to who plans to like make art or make fan art. I want their process to be simple and like straightforward, and also like arguably my design is kind of iconic because I pretty much like don't follow like how hair looks like. I want to like make it a little bit more like pointy, make the colors more like more contrast with each other. So that's why like I have this design of a model, and also like I got like this cute shoulder pads because I want like the silhouette to become noticeable. Like I want the silhouette to, you know, like have shape instead of like the usual one where like the hair is going down like a pointing arrow, like a pointing up arrow, right? Like having the hair go to the sides and to the back, like having the hair pretty much spread out. And when you like see it on a silhouette form, it's the same thing with other VTuber like VTuber designs. Like it's the same silhouette, so there's no uniqueness into it.
Studio, like the default ones, nobody's gonna recognize you. I feel like there's no point in trying, right? But I do think that if you were to get like a cheap one, or maybe, you know, even if you do get one of those customizable ones that are like you can customize what it looks like, you can actually, you know, kind of succeed, and all of that, as long as you make it look unique and you have something that you could potentially turn into a better model into the future, right? Because, you know, you kind of got to have an idea in your head of like, what kind of VTuber do I want to be? What do I want my model to look like in the future when I can afford it? And then essentially, you know, you can pick one of those customizable ones where you can change the hair color and whatever, kind of create it as close to whatever you want. It might not be perfect, but at least then you can kind of build off of that and make a better VTuber in the future if your content does take off. And then if your content does take, or no, to get your content to take off, as they mentioned down here, you're going to need clips, you're going to need content, you're going to need YouTube videos, you're going to need streams, you're going to need literally everything, and you're going to need to throw yourself at it, right? You can't just...
Like 90% doesn't know that this simple trick. Post videos, post content, even like shorts. Just make a video, not like stream every single day for 8 hours. That doesn't work. You're just burning yourself out. You're just like using the entire energy, and you know, like that's pretty much like the most common mistake ever. You're just streaming without having any purpose of making content out of it. It could be like you could pull a funny moment on the stream, that's content. Or if you want to talk about something, that's content. Or if you want to like make a scripted story time, or scripted like a video, that's content as well. But then again though, like scripted content takes more effort. And if you're planning to put it on shorts, yeah, like you know what, personally I wouldn't recommend having like high quality, or probably like high prepared or like scripted on shorts, because most of the time it's just full of brain rot. And if you get like good at editing and have like everything moves within like a 5-second interval, like if your model moves for every 5 seconds, if you make some text move around for 5 seconds, that's you know, that's how things work on shorts videos, TikTok, whatever, because it's pretty much like brain rot at this moment. Like they need something to jingle, like a key jingle.
Go live as a VTuber every now and again and just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go live. No, you've actually got to do clips, you've actually got to do all of this kind of stuff associated with it, and that's how you grow. Your VTuber model isn't going to be how you grow, as long as it looks unique, as long as it is something that people can recognize, you know, and is, you know, something a little bit different, then you're going to be fine, right? As long as you're, you know, the only thing that's kind of important here is the content that you do and how much you are uploading that content. So Again, and that's the same for every streamer. That's not even just VTubers, by the way. That's literally everybody. So again, I think a lot of people do place a lot of weight on your VTuber model looking the best, and that's why even something like this program could work for some people, to be honest. Like, on the contrary of, obviously I know it's supposed to be kind of a point against this, but I think that that's why a VTuber model like this could also work, because it's unique enough. It's not perfect, but I do think that, it will intrigue some people, right? So again, I think that it is a very interesting debate that has been going around. There's been lots of different points being brought up in terms of VTubers and, how you can really grow, whether, you should be using a tool like this, how much VTubing models actually cost. People say, who is paying 10K? What a ripoff. So again, it is pretty interesting, right? But yeah, I mean, that's essentially all there is for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and
I'll
subscribe.
give it a like.
Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazo, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. So yeah,
pretty great, very nice video from Kazahana. Like at this point, Kazahana is pretty much my top 3 when it comes to like sharing some stories on Twitter, because I'm like, sometimes like I don't see it on my timeline, versus like if you're a veteran Twitter user who actually like looks for content or looks for like the most controversial post ever. I'm glad that we got people like Kazahana, Rev, or Hero Hey that would go into the trenches of Twitter just to look for a hidden gem of a post. I do appreciate that. Keep them coming.